Hi everyone, in this video we'll see how to configure a web server in AWS. So let us start by creating a new EC2 instance. So let us click on launch instance. So before clicking on launch instance, we have to go to EC2. Then you'll be getting the option called launch instance. So click on it. Okay. So now here, as you can see, summary, number of instances. You can create n number of instances in AWS and EC2 based on your requirement. Okay, and here uh, just by changing the number, you can give n number of we can create n number of instances here. Okay, let's create just a single server now. Now I'm giving the naming conventions for the instance. Prod, not prod. Okay, let's take QA server. Okay, so this is the naming convention which I have given. You can give any name here. And AMI, I'm choosing Amazon Linux to AMI, which is the older version of Linux. The latest version is Amazon Linux 2023. So I'm using the older version here. You can use the latest version also, no problem at all. So the next step is instance type. Instance type is t2.micro, which is a general purpose. It belongs to general purpose instance family. So by default, it is t2.micro. I'm not changing this because there are many instance types, but they are not free. They will charge you definitely. So I'm not changing this. t2.micro is default. And here key pair, I'm selecting the existing key pair. You can create your own key pair here. Okay. And here network settings. Inside the network settings, VPC, I'm keeping it as default. I'm not changing it. Inside the subnet, you have 3 availability zones, but t2.micro doesn't support 1C. Only 1A and 1B can be used. So 1A I'm using it. And here auto assign public IP, I'm keeping it as enable. And here security group, you can create your own security group here. You can give any name here. You can give any description. And after giving the name and the description, you have to give the security group role. You have to give 2 roles here. One is SSH, okay, and the source type must be my IP. Okay, many organizations choose my IP. They never choose anywhere. Okay, so that is a first security group role. The next security group role is HTTP. Okay, and this can be anywhere. Okay, you can give source type as anywhere, no issues. Okay, that is anywhere. Okay, this is how you can create the security group. Okay, but I'm not creating. I'll just select the existing security group, AWS SG. And here configure storage, I'm not touching that. In advanced details, we are not going into that. So I'm just launching the instance. So as you can see, successfully initiated launch of instance. So if I go to instances, view all instances, and this is our instance, QA server, which is in pending state. Okay. So let us wait until it becomes running. Okay, now it's running state. So let's click on it and you can see the public IP address. So using this IP address, we can log into the server. So to log into the server, so of course we are using Linux OS inside this server. Okay, so the root volume has all the OS related library files. So we'll be using F40 tool, which is a mediator between Windows and Linux. Okay, using that putty tool, we can log into the Linux server, and then we can configure the web server. So let us start by going to, okay, before going to, putty, we have to copy this public IP address, and we have to go to putty. So this is the icon. So this is how it looks. Okay, so here host name, you have to give the public IP address which we have in our instance. Okay, so these are default. I'm not changing them anymore. So inside, to the left column, there is a box. Okay, here we have SSH, and here inside the SSH we have auth, we have credentials, and here private key file for authentication. Okay, so AWS doesn't support passwords. Okay, so that is the reason why we have to give a PPK file as a encryption, or you can think it as a password. So let's click on open, and here I'm giving it as accept. So login as EC2 user. So we are successfully logged into Linux machine. So here I need to be a root user to install the packages. If I try to install any packages, let's say to install package, you use yum. Okay, so I need to install a third-party package. Okay, let's say Git or HTTPD. You want to install them as a EC2 user. Let's see whether it will install or not. HTTPD with hyphen. So as you can see here, you need to be a root to perform this command. Okay, so that is the reason why we have to be a root user, which is sudo su will make you a root user. So now I'll do the arrow mark, the above arrow mark. So the above arrow I'll click. Okay, it's not working. Okay, let's type yum install httpd git -y. So yum is used to install packages on Linux. So HTTPD is a third-party service or a tool. Okay, and Git is a third-party software. Okay, and HTTPD is also a third-party software. So we are installing these softwares to configure our web server. So if I click enter, so that will download the dependencies or all the required packages. Okay, you can see Git is installed. Okay, so the next step is service httpd status. So this command will give us the status of this service. Okay, httpd is a service. Okay, so here service name, and this is a action. Okay, status is the action, httpd is the service name, and okay, this is a service. So by default it will be inactive status. If I click it enter, so as you can see, it is by default inactive or dead status. So you have to start the service httpd start. So if I check the status now, service httpd status, and that will be active. Okay, so here what we have done is we have installed two services. Okay, one is httpd and the other service is a Git. Okay, using Git we are cloning the web application. Okay, so by default the httpd service will be in dead status or inactive status. So we are starting the service. So whenever we check for the status, that should be running. Okay, whenever you start the status should be changed to running. Okay, whenever we start the service, we have to check for the status. Okay, that should be in green in color. Okay, as you can see, is green in color. That means it is active. So now, so it is active. Let's type another command, which is service. Sorry, not service. We have to go to a document.root. Okay, document.root. We have to go into this root folder, which is document.root, which is var www./html. And here we are in the present working directory of HTML, as you can see. Okay, and here inside this HTML, we are cloning a web application. Okay, we have to give the website. Okay, URL of our application. Okay, there is already a application, working applications, which is a car website. So I'm just copying this URL. Okay, and just pasting it here. And at the end, after car website.get, give a space and give a period. Okay, so if I click enter, so that would clone into the whatever the website we have. So that is cloned. Okay, so that is done. Okay, so now we can check whether our website is working or not. So using the public IP address. Okay, so this is our public IP address. So I have copied this public IP address and I have pasted it here. So as you can see here, it is working. Okay, so this this website is running successfully. Okay, so there is another command. Let's say phkconfig httpd on. Okay, so I have clicked enter. Okay, so this command is used whenever you restart. So let's say if I reboot this instance, so as you can see, there is a fatal error. Okay, so because I have rebooted it, it is throwing me an error. So whenever I reboot the instance, the service should be active. Okay, to be this inactive, you have to type this command. Okay, if you don't type this command, the service status will be inactive. Of course, the putty terminal is inactive right now. Let's restart the session. Okay, let's wait for it. Okay, connection refused. Okay, let's create a duplicate session and close the previous one. EC2 -user sudo su. Okay, so if I do http, okay, sorry, service httpd status, the status will be still inactive. Okay, it will be an active status. Okay, it is available. Okay, as you can see, it is available. Why it is available? Even after we are rebooting the instance. Okay, we have rebooted this instance, but still it is showing me it is showing me active. Okay, just by giving the command. What is the command? chkconfig httpd on. If I don't give this command and if I reboot the instance, this will be in dead status. Okay, the service will be in dead status. So that is a use of chkconfig httpd on. So this is how we can configure a web server using Linux. So one more method is, we will create a new instance for this method. So the other method of doing this is, so this is a manual process. Okay, what we have done here is completely a manual process. But there is another method which is, let's say we'll create a new instance. However, okay, we have a, okay, what instance we have? We have QA server. Okay, we create a new instance. I'll say it as web server. Okay, it's just a web server. Okay, and here I'm giving it Linux to AMI. Okay, instance type e2.micro, key pair, existing key pair, network settings. Here I'm choosing 1B because I have chosen 1A for QA server. Okay, firewall, security group. Okay, here the existing security group I'll choose AWS S3. And here configure storage I'm not touching it. So here whatever we have done in the previous server, that was a manual process. So automatic process is using the advanced details. Okay, we have a option called user data. Okay, we have a user data option where we can give the commands here. Okay, whatever the commands we have given in the Linux terminal, same commands you can give it here also. Okay, without logging into the server. Okay, without configuring it, without installing it. Here we can give it here itself. Okay, let me close this. And okay, and here, so before giving the commands we have to give a shebang line. Okay, hash exclamation slash bin slash bash. Okay, so this is the shebang line. Okay, so now I'll write the whatever the commands we have executed in the Linux server, same commands I'm using it here. Yum install httpd git hyphen y. Okay, so now next command, which is service httpd, we have to start the service. Okay, we have installed the service, now we are starting the service, and we are giving the chk config here httpd on. Okay, config. Okay, and now here we have to give cd slash var slash www slash html. Okay, here git clone, and here we have to give the URL, same URL which we have for our website. Okay, let me close this previous previous instance web application. Okay, so git clone, and here we have to paste that URL, and here space and a period. Okay, now here I'll restart this service. See here, I have not said about the restart in the previous, while we are doing it in the Linux server, I have not said that. Restart will make, will update the new changes. Okay, here we are giving the URL, application URL, so it will, update the changes. Okay, restart will update the changes to the service. Okay, which is HTTPD. So that is the reason we are using HTTPD restart service, HTTPD restart. So that's it. Just click on launch instance. And go to instances. And this is our, This is our website. Okay, this is our instance, which is web server. Click on the copy this public IP address, paste it here. Of course, this will take some time. Just wait for it. Let it clone. Okay, just reload it. Wait for some time. So let me copy it again and paste it here. Yeah, see that it is working. So as you can see, it is working. So here what we have done, we have not logged into the Linux server. Okay, we are directly use the commands inside the user data. Okay, user data is very important, where we can write our commands. Okay, we can install the services. Okay, third-party tools or third-party softwares, we can install it there. So this is very helpful. Okay, so QA server, as we have seen, we have done the configuration completely in a Linux terminal. Okay, we have to configure, we have to install it, we have to run the status check, and we have to do the git clone there. Okay, we have done it there. Okay, by logging into the Linux server. But here, when it comes to web server, we have not logged in into the Linux server by using the putty tool. We have directly given it in the user data. Okay, we have given the commands, all the commands inside the user data of advanced settings. So this is how we can configure web server using the Linux machine or the user data. Okay, in automatic way or in a manual process. Okay, we have seen both the processes. First, we have seen the manual process. The automatic process is the user data. Okay, I hope you like this video. Thank you for watching.